we have eventually settled on the modern theory of the origin of the universe. In this short clip, we will look at the Big Bang Theory. Specifically, you will be able to familiarize yourself with the Big Bang Theory and differentiate the models of the Big Bang. In the beginning, there was nothing, until there was light. The origin of the universe, according to the Big Bang Theory, states that the universe came from an infinitesimally small dense period of pure energy which created space-time itself. In a fraction of a second, the fundamental forces existed: gravity, electromagnetic force, strong and nuclear force. Gravity is a force that keeps the attraction of bodies based on the mass in check. Electromagnetic force, the one which rules the attraction and repulsion of molecules by law. Strong nuclear force, which holds the nucleus of an atom where neutrons and protons are held. And weak nuclear force, responsible for the nuclear decay. In about 3 minutes, the universe started to cool down, allowing protons and neutrons to fuse, forming hydrogen and helium atoms. The universe of this time seemed like a dense soup of hydrogen and helium matter. About 300,000 years later, the first light truly emerged as it was cool enough for photons to exist. In this, light as visible light in the electromagnetic spectrum was fully observed as the universe was cold enough for the right frequency of the visible light to exist. 3 million years later, stars and the galaxy began to form, as gravity was already strong enough to be able to hold particles together. This allowed for clumps of dust to coagulate as light elements were able to fuse and form heavier elements, forming the things we know and see so far. Nebula formed star systems, the stars that would eventually hold planets and debris. These star systems formed part of galaxies, and group of galaxies as tiny part of the universe. That was the history of the beginning of the universe in theory. But then, what could be its fate? According to Alexander Friedman, a Russian cosmologist, there are 3 possible fates of the universe. If the critical density of the universe compared to the critical density of the universe at present was greater, then the universe would collapse due to stronger gravitational attraction in the universe. Albert Einstein favored the model similar to this concept, and that is the oscillating universe. Big Crunch is a perpetual cycle wherein the universe expands over time and then contracts due to the pull of its gravity. If the critical density is equal to 0, wherein no matter was inserted into the universe during its conception, then the universe would expand until such time that it doesn't and just stays the way it is for eternity. Fred Hoyle, Thomas Gold, and Hermann Bondi supports the steady-state theory. The open universe predicts that the universe would only expand to a certain extent as its fate in the future. But if the universe has less critical density, there wouldn't be enough gravity to hold matter in the universe. Alan Guth proposed the inflationary universe, which describes the same fate. Big Freeze, heat death, or the expanding universe suggests that the universe would have an accelerating expansion to the point in the far future that the universe would lose its kinetic energy, that molecules would stop moving, and that not a trace of existence would exist as a remnant of the universe. Everything will be torn down to pieces until nothing would exist. We do not know which one would actually be our fate. However, there are many other theories out there which explains its fate. The multiverse theory or the inflationary chaotic theory sees the universe to be only one of many universes out there, and that each universe were enclosed in bubbles, growing apart from one another. American physicists Hugh Everett III and Bryce DeWitt popularized the concept of many worlds structure of the universe in the 60s and 70s. Alexander Velikin theorized that in each universe, in the multiverse, a tiny variation exists. This one is called the alternate universe theory. One is for sure, we haven't really observed what happened during the creation of the universe. Whether or not, it is safe to say that the universe really had an origin, nor will it have an end. But I guess it is safe to bet that in a place called Earth, there are humans surrounded by a world that's teeming with life and an outside world ready to be explored. To recap, we learned about the Big Bang Theory in details and the difference between and among the models of Big Bang. If you'd like to check your understanding, try to answer the following questions. What are the stages of the Big Bang Theory? And how are the Big Bang models distinct from one another? Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your time. See you again on the next one.